Welcome back, guys. Today in this video we're going to talk about the head area of the HTML document, and we're going to go into what the meta tags are and what they do in more detail. We kind of touched on it in the last video, but I'm going to go into just a little bit more here so that you understand exactly what all that is. So I'm going to open up my Visual Studio Code. And in the last video we made this folder called First Web Page. I'm actually going to change this folder name to HTML course, and I'm going to just start adding all of our different course files in here for each video, and then I'm going to push this to my GitHub and link it in the description of each video. But what you guys can do is you can also just follow me what I'm doing, change it to HTML course or something like that, name the folder whatever you want, and then just keep all the files in one folder so that you can go back and view the files if you have questions in the future about HTML or what to do. It's always good to have like code snippets that you save, because I've said this in a lot of my videos, I'll always say it. It's remembering code and everything that goes into coding is not possible. You're going to have to look stuff up a lot. So try to take notes and save as much code as you can so that you can use it in the future. And then of course you're going to be using Google a lot to look. I still look up really basic stuff every time I build a project, because like I said, I just forget. But yeah, so let's go ahead and change that. Instead of indexed at HTML, I'm going to change it to first. I'll put like first web page or something like that. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to right click and hit rename. I'm going to say 1-first web page.html. Hit enter. Okay. And then I'm going to go down to I'll make this big here. I'm going to open up, I'm going to create a new file in this folder. And it's going to be 2-meta tags.html. There we go. Now see that when we're putting 1 and 2, it'll order stuff how we did it, and then that way your files and notes will be in orders in case you have to go back and look. You can find stuff easier. So in my meta tags document now, I'm just going to select that. I'm going to hit shift exclamation and tab over. And you see this, it says Emmet abbreviation. Emmet is the program that runs on Visual Studio Code that allows you to do stuff like hit tab and create a bunch of code. And it also does what's called code completion. It's just like the name of the built-in. It's a built-in extension. I think it's built-in. Let's make sure. Yeah, it's a built-in. You used to have to download it, but it's built into VS Code now, so you don't. And you already, right out of the box, you have Emmet. So it just makes typing HTML and other code much faster because it'll auto-complete it for you. So I'm going to go down to the title of this document, and I'm just going to put meta tags. And we're not really going to be doing anything to update the page, because meta tags, they're not seen on the page itself. Anything in the head is not really seen except for the title. So this is just going to be like more of an informational video, but I'm just going to make a title there just to be consistent. And so we're going to get into it now. First, I'll explain to you what the meta tags are, what these two are. I kind of went over it in the last video, but we'll refresh. But first, I want to point out to you that the meta tags can only go in the head of the HTML document. That's the only place they're supposed to go. So if you're ever making meta tags or extra meta tags like the ones I'm going to show you, make sure they're always in between your head tags along with the title, okay? So this first meta tag, I said it earlier in the other video, but it's the char set. It's a character set UTF-8. So what that means is there's a bunch of character sets out there that you can run on a web page to do different symbols. But for HTML, the default is always UTF-8. The character set for UTF-8 is the stuff that we know, like letters like A, B, C, D, numbers 1, 2, 3, apostrophes, the @ symbol, hashtags, money signs, percentage signs, and symbols, asterisks, anything you can think of that we type every day in normal human language. That is all supported by the UTF-8 character set. So that's the default. In fact, you can delete this altogether and it would still, like, the default web page is always UTF-8. That doesn't even really need to be there anymore. It used to back in the day. And that's the thing with a lot of these meta tags is, like, a lot of them, except for that viewport one that we're about to talk about, honestly, you don't really even need to use them anymore because they don't have very much, they don't hold much weight with modern search engines and web browsers. But anyway, so yeah, UTF-8, I can put a comment here. So if you hit, you can make comments in HTML by putting a less than symbol, an exclamation, 2 dashes, and then 2 dashes and a greater than symbol. And you can write text in between here, and that's a comment. And that doesn't go on the page, but it's just like a little note to yourself or other developers. And the shorthand way of doing that is command or control on keyboard. Hold command or control if you're on PC, and the question mark. Just hit the question mark button or the slash button. Just tap it, and it'll make a comment. I'm just gonna put comments in here for each one, so over it. So we'll say UTF-8 stands for all basic characters in regular English. Okay. So then we're going to go down here, and then the viewport one, I'm going to make another comment. I'm going to hit on my Mac keyboard command question mark, or again, control question mark key. And remember the viewport meta tag. Now this is the one that you need on every page. This is like the one that is super, super important. Okay. And it's the one that tells the browser that whatever viewport, and by viewport we mean screen size, whatever screen size somebody is viewing a page on or a website on, make sure that you scale the website down to fit it so that the user can see it. Without this meta tag, you're not going to be able to have responsive websites. So very important to have this one. If you're going to have any meta tags at all nowadays, this is the one you want. So we'll say in our comment, makes sure website will be mobile responsive. Okay. And then, so those are the two meta tags that are like default added in when you make a boilerplate with VS Code, and those are really the only two that are like super, super important. Or not really, I mean really just this one is that UTF-8. Again, you can delete it and it's still going to be UTF-8, your web page, but I would keep it there. I don't really ever delete it. We'll go over some more meta tags now that are common, and they used to mean a lot, but they don't really mean, again, you don't really need them anymore. But the other one is there's a keywords meta tag. So I'll show you that one. I'm gonna type the word meta, META, and hit tab, and that's gonna give us a meta tag. And then I'm gonna hit name, tab. That's gonna give me those. It's gonna write out the rest of it equals and the comma or quotes. And for the name, it's going to be, this meta tag is called the keywords meta tag. And then we're going to hit space. We're going to write the word content, tab. Start writing it. So CON, then tab, and then it's going to give me equals, and then the quotes again. And then in here, you can put the keywords that you want to show, like a search engine like Google. And this used to work back in the day. Before Google was like as advanced as it is now. Google pretty much now ignores this, so it doesn't really hold much weight if you put your keywords that you want to rank for on here, but I'll show it to you anyway. So let's say that this was a page about how to build websites. Our keywords might be HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And then that would tell like the search engine, like, hey, this is what the web page is about. These are the main keywords. So, we'll make a comment here that says tells the search engine keywords for the web page. And again, guys, it'll be really helpful for you if you actually type these comments out with me and type everything out with me, because it'll help you retain the information better. Okay, so there's the keywords meta tag. Again, it doesn't hold much weight anymore in search engines, but nonetheless, that's it. Another meta tag that we can write is called, so we'll say meta tab. And this meta tag, we'll say name tab, is the description. And this, back in the day, this was used as like the description box for what your website or web page would be about. Like when you go to search engines and it has like, here, I'll show you an example. Like when you go to Google and you type out, I don't know, like fishing rods, that the description meta tag would be like the text here. This would be like whatever you put inside the quotes was what it would show on search engines. Again, it doesn't really work like that today because Google is way more advanced and they figure out what pages mean just by crawling them. But anyway, I'll show it to you. So you'd say name description, and then you could put like, again, if it was like a website about how to make web pages, you could put like how to code web pages from scratch using HTML and CSS. Okay, something like that. And that would go in the description on the search engine. So again, I'm going to put a comment, and I'm going to say for this meta tag, provides default description for search engine. Okay. As you can see, I'm not the fastest typer in the world. All right. And then another meta tag is the author. So I'll just put the comment right away. So author, because that's self-explanatory. So say tell the search engine who authored the page. And it's going to be really self-explanatory. So we'll say meta. And then for author, it's name. And then you can just put, author or just a placeholder. And then content. So sorry, it's not just a placeholder. It is author because this is the author meta tag. So we'll put author for name, and then we'll just put John Doe. Just a generic name. You can put your name in there if you authored the page and you want the search engine to know, but that's just the author meta tag. We'll do one more, and this is a meta tag that is actually still important today, and it's called, I think, like the no follow meta tag. And basically you can put this meta tag on a web page to discourage or block search engines from crawling a website or web page that you don't want to be indexed on the internet. So people that use this are like probably dark web people that are like selling illegal stuff or have some kind of illegal stuff on their website, to be honest. But nonetheless, it's still a meta tag, and it works. Like most of the time your website's not going to get indexed. So put a comment here and say ask search engine not to follow or index page. And we'll go down here. We'll say meta. And the name for this tag is robots, because you're basically telling the search engine robot something. And the content is no index altogether. So the word no and index, no spaces. So no index. I've seen some people actually write it out in caps too. Like the old school coders, that's how they do it. No index in caps. And that'll keep search engines away from your page. So Yeah, those are, so that's basically about meta tags, what they are. Again, there's only like really one that you really need anymore, and that's the viewport one. Everything else is, if you want to put it, you can. If you don't want to index your page, you can use that. And then the char set UTF-8 isn't completely necessary, but there's no harm in leaving it there. I would leave it there. I always do. Um, so yeah, that's how meta tags work. And they always go in the head of your document. So yeah, I will catch up with you guys in the next video, and we will be talking about HTML tags and how to write them.